Good evening, all, and welcome to the United Real Therapy. It's me, Jarvis, and Nuruddin will be joining us soon. He's just on his bike from Saeed doing the watch along with Saeed in Manchester. So he will be here in a couple of minutes. He asked me to open the show for him. There are people waiting. So, guys, tonight we're going to talk about Joao Gomes. We'll do a breakdown, a tactical breakdown on Joao Gomes from Wolverhampton and see how what's his stat and what he can do on the pitch. Is he the right profile for Man United? But we will also talk about the semi-final of the Champions League. We just witnessed the PSG winning against Bayern Munich on aggregate. I think they won the game 6-5. It was a thriller till the end. We saw a late goal from Harry Kane, and there were some controversies from the referee. New footage show that Mendes probably should have had a red card or a second yellow for that handball, and also a controversial decision from the referee when it came to the penalty and the Joao Neves penalty inside PSG's box. Nuruddin will come here and we will talk all about it. There's also some updates when it comes to Man United. We will talk about Man United. We have apparently offered a contract to Ederson of Atalanta, 4.5 million net per year for the Atalanta midfielder. That's something to talk about. And also Man United is in advanced talks to confirm that Betway, I don't know, there's some gambling shit, is believed to have agreed a sponsor deal in the excess of 18 million a year. So more money in the bank. But let me just say, Tesos, who was our last sponsor when it came to training kits, gave us 24 millions a year. So again, I'm not quite sure if it's a good deal or not. Other updates on Marcus Rashford. He remains determined to stay at Barcelona. We have been linked to a new winger, Alfonso Moreira from Lyon. There have been some updates on Collier from Wolves. We are going to talk about a new left back who will be Mice Lewis Kelly or Lewis Hall. There's so much to talk about, guys. So I will be back after the intro, and Nuruddin will be joining us soon. But guys, you have to do me a favor before Nuruddin comes. You have to have a lot of likes. So people, if you haven't, smash the like and subscribe if this is your first time on United Real Therapy. I think we are only 30 subscribers away from 15K. So that will be a present for Nuruddin when he arrives on his bike. So guys, smash like, subscribe, and we will be back after the short intro. Boom, 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 and we are back. United Real Therapy. Nuruddin, the main man, will be joining us soon. He's on his bike coming from Saeed's. He's been doing a watch-along with Saeed at Saeed's place in Manchester. So he will be joining us very soon, guys. I don't know. I haven't heard from him, but I reckon he will be here. Let's see. Just sent me a message. Oh, he has had an emergency. Okay. Well, we'll see. when he will join us. We will know. We will know later. Yeah, guys, it's been a wonderful night of football. We just witnessed PSG Bayern Munich playing on Allianz Arena in München. And yeah, the game ended 1-1, 6-5 on aggregate to PSG. And now they have qualified for the Champions League final against the boring Arsenal team we witnessed yesterday. So I don't know, guys, what's your thoughts? Do you think PSG will win it, or will Arsenal be crowned the champion of Europe this season? For me, I think this PSG team looks amazing. Kvaratskhelia, what a player! You know, I'm so impressed by Kvara. He's fantastic. And you know, he had the brilliant assist. I think he have had new records, something like 15 goal or assist in the last 16 games of the Champions League. So there's something on with that guy. And also Joao, Neves, Vitinha, you know, Dembele, so many good players. And Dembele scored a fantastic goal. I think it was in the second minute of the game. And after that, you witnessed a PSG really hard working, and you know, they were not sitting back. They were pressing hard, working hard, and Bayern, you know, for me, I think the front four, maybe if you yeah, Diaz, I think he was the only one, you know, that was actually quite good. And besides that, I think Kane had a poor game, and Michael Olise, what a disappointment. You know, I think they would the moment took him, and he didn't do well tonight. I think Michael Olise had a really, really poor game. He lost everything, and yeah, that's one way. The binary code coming in and say Olise's SHT. Yeah, we all know what that means. So yeah, he was very poor tonight. I don't know what happened with Olise. He looked like a shadow of himself. So yeah, that's just the way it is. Guys, I want to say hi to everybody who's tuned in. I see Bilal, I am Titanium is in the house. King Solbo is in the house. He comes in with the rant raids. Big up. People coming in from rants. Noradin will be joining us soon. He's on his way on a bike. So now you have Jarvis doing this show. So guys, smash the like for Noradin and subscribe if this is your first time on the United Real Therapy. Who else is in the house? Let me just check out. We have Jamie Wayne. Big up Jamie Wayne in the comment section. Guys, get your comments in. Say hello. I want to know who's watching. And you know, where are you from, guys? Where are you watching from? UK? Are you watching from Nigeria? Are you watching from Bahamas? Are you watching from Thailand, India, whatever? You know, let me know, guys. It will be very interesting to see where you are from, guys. We have Teslim Laval, R6M, big up, my friend. And we have Don Dada, 1204 brothers. This Arsenal guy's been pissing me off. Yeah, 100% agree. I was so disappointed by this. You know, boring Arsenal qualifying for the Champions League final. Let's hope they're not winning the double on us this year. You know, you will never hear the end of it from all these Arsenal scummers. That's just my personal opinion. No offense. No offense meant. Yeah, hello. Shagger Underground. She get underground. Oh, she get underground. 1748 coming in from Ethiopia. Big up Ethiopia. Big up Ethiopia. Is it just me, 43, coming in and say, hey Jarvis, we have 456 people in the building. Smash the like for Nuruddin and United Real Therapy and the community. Sheikh Arian is in the house, our chief editor, coming in saying a big up and all congratulations to PSG for reaching yet another final. Everyone pray that they will smash Arsenal. 100%, my friend. 100%, Sheikh. 100%. We have a Red Pill L4 coming in from the US of A. Big up. Glad you joined us. And Bilal is watching from Mars. Big up, Bilal. Alice Paris. Yeah, that's a good question, guys. Teslim Laval comes in and say, who do you think deserves the Ballon d'Or right now? You know, Saka scored yesterday. if he wins the Premier League, let's say, and Arsenal wins the Champions League, and England do well in the World Cup, I would say maybe Bukayo Saka is one of the contenders for the Ballon d'Or. But for me, in the tournament of the Champions League, there's only one player, and that's Kvaratskhelia, the one and only Kvaratskhelia coming in. I think he's been the best player so far this season. I don't think Georgia is playing in the World Cup. So again, he could be overlooked. Let's say if France win it, you might be looking at Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or. I don't know, guys. Who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or? Big, great question. MUFC 1417 coming in, is watching from Iraq. Big up Iraq. Iraq, by the way, I'm Norwegian, and Iraq is playing in Norwegian's group when it comes to the World Cup. Norway is up against Senegal, France, and Iraq. So that will be one interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a must-win game for Norway, and if they lose, Iraq will go through. So it will be a difficult game. Noradin, big up Sheikh Aryan, saying, where's Noradin? Noradin just did the watch along with Saeed at Saeed's place. He's on his way, and hopefully he will be joining us very soon. Kadeen Thomas, big up Kadeen. I hope you're well. Good evening, Jarvis. Good evening, Kadeen. Good evening. Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see all of these legends, familiar people. I see you on my channel too. So yeah, it's good to have some familiar faces. And Kadeen also agrees with me when it comes to the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I did say Saka for the Ballon d'Or, Jarvis, but yeah, I agree. I'm not saying he deserves to win it, but he scored the winner, and if he wins the Premier League, Champions League, and England do well in the World Cup, it's a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with football, my friend. It's nothing to do with football. It's all about hype, and I don't know. So for me, I don't give a fuck about the Ballon d'Or anyway. When Benzema didn't win it that year, being the best player for me, it's just a vanity contest anyway. But you never know with these guys. Yeah, 100% King Sorbo. We are shadow banned, so help us out by liking the video, subscribe to help the YouTube algorithms. They are so hard on Noradin and always on this channel because he speaks freely about Palestine, about Yemen, about all the other countries where oppression happens. So it's always difficult. Yeah. Shaky Arian comes in and says, Jarvis, I'm sorry, but Saka's been poor this season. Too inconsistent. Casemiro in the Prem has more goals than him. Yeah. Very well out made point, my friend. So again, I just need some time to put in my snooze. I don't know if you know what snooze is. It's just something we have in Norway. Yes, big up, guys. Yeah, let's just get into to the latest Man United news, and let me just bring out the talking points for tonight. It's not my show, so I haven't prepared too much, but hopefully we will see Nordin soon. Let's do the first one. It's on Ederson. Let me just bring it up here. Share screen. Yeah. So this came out today. I don't know, guys, if you've seen it, but Ederson, breaking Man United, have tabled a contract offer worth 4.5 million euros net per year to Atalanta midfielder Ederson. And the proposal is slightly higher than the salary currently on the table from Atletico Madrid as the race for the Brazilian heats up. And this is from Daily Mail Sports. So I don't know, guys. Would you prefer a player like Ederson to come in and be one of the midfielders we are signing this summer? I see also Danny B, Irish Pit Terrier, prefers Gomes, Joao Gomes. But if we have offered Ederson a contract, I think he had a release clause in January of 50 million euros. It's probably less right now. I think we could get a bargain, maybe 40 million euros, or maybe as high as 45, but no more than that. And we heard rumors a couple of days ago about Manchester United's budget for midfielders. Apparently, we are going for three midfielders in the bracket of 150 million pounds. So let's say we go 80 million Baleba, 40 million for a player like Ederson, and then we have 30 million left for the third option. And also the money we can get from selling a player like Ugarte. There's been talk about in the bracket of 25 million for Ugarte to maybe Italian clubs or Turkish clubs. Galatasaray has been mentioned a lot of the times. So again, it's a possibility, but the budget will always command how we do this, how we navigate through the transfer window. So I don't know, guys. Are you hyped on Ederson? Do you know anything about him? I think we are 2 years too late when it comes to Ederson. I think he peaked when Atalanta won the Europa League on the manager Gasperini. And I think he was very good at their midfield at that time. But right now, I feel another guy coming in from the Italian league. It's a no from me. But apparently, we have Wilcox, and Wilcox, he doesn't know football for me. He's a dumbass. So if we go for a player like Ederson, I think it's the wrong direction. It sends out the wrong signal. Even though he has some Champions League experience, for me, I would go Premier League proven. That's just how I see it. So yeah, that's just how I see it, guys. Yeah, come on, PSG, big up, big up. Danny B, he prefers Joao Gomes. Yeah, 100%. For me too. It's more Premier League experience. He's Brazilian, another Brazilian. I would say Joao Gomes is more combative, better on the ball. But I have to be honest, I haven't seen enough from Ederson. I've seen the occasional Europa League or Champions League game with Atalanta, and yeah, for me, nah, it's a no. It's a no. Is it just me comes in and say no? Ederson, bring back Garner from Everton. Come on, my man. Speaking to the choir, Garner. Why didn't we just re-sign James Garner from Everton? He's been brilliant this season. Personally, I have two favorites in the Premier League, underrated, or three, I have to be honest. Sander Berge, the DM of Fulham, is fantastic. You have James Garner, Everton, and also Anton Stach from Leeds, playing for Leeds. Those three never talked about, always doing their job. Brilliant footballers, know how to play ball. And I think this is where we have to look, players like this. But apparently they're going for a player like Ederson. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want a midfielder from Italy either. That's just how I see it. The United fall also. I know I don't want this guy. I would rather get Manu. Oh yeah, Manu Kune is so much better. 100%. Manu Kune. I don't know, guys. Who would you prefer? Because now we're not talking about the T1. We're not talking about the Elliot Andersons, the Tonales, even counting Baleba when we talk about this, Tchouaméni. These are players from 870 to 120 million. Now we're talking about the midfielders in the bracket of maybe 40 to 50 million, the tier 2 position guy who will come in and compete with Kobbie Mainoo for a starting position, and also be the squad option for us playing 3 games in, let's say, 10 days, every 10 days. So again, who would you guys prefer? We have a lot of options when it comes to this, and yeah, Barella is also one we should look at. But again, I think Barella will be too expensive. Inter is not a selling club, and Barella, he is Inter. Him and Bastoni is Inter at the moment. But we have heard Bastoni, with links to Barcelona, and Bastoni has been cryptic in everything he's been talking about, every interview saying he's an Inter player, he can't say anything, but he likes Barcelona. So again, he's doubling down. And for me, I can't see Inter selling both Barella and Ederson, the two, no, and Barella, the two cornerstones of this Inter team. And they just won the Scudetto, the Italian league also. So again, I can't see us bringing in Barella, but it's a good shout, Big Rems. It's a good shout. I don't know if you guys have seen the players we have been linked to, but there's a big list, and there's a lot of names on that list, and there are players that we could potentially sign. So again, let me see if I have it here, and I can read up all the names. No, actually, I don't. I wasn't prepared enough, But we have been linked to, let's say, okay, let's and also Sangare from Lens, RC Lens. If you don't know anything about the French league, Sangare, fantastic player, reminds me a lot of Caicedo in the way he plays. I think he's from Mali, Africa, and he has long legs. He has a work rate. You've never seen a work rate, and they can cover a lot of ground. And he's a decent footballer. He's very good on that ball too. And right now, RC Lens did quite well in the French league. PSG will always win it, but I think they will qualify for the Champions League. And we have teams like Marseille, Monaco, and other great teams. So RC Lens is not one of the biggest clubs, but are doing well with Sangare in the midfield. So if you haven't, go check out Sangare. It's not the same Sangare who plays midfield for Nottingham Forest. This is a different guy. He's young. He recently signed from Rapid Vienna in Austria before going to the French league, and hopefully we will see him in the Premier League next season. I think there are clubs looking at him, and he's doing quite well. But he's not on Man United's paper. Again, the United fan 11 comes in and say, my ideal midfield: Anton Stach, Lee Kang-in, and Mamadou Sangare, Manu Kone. Wow. You guys, you know ball, more than me, you know more than I do, and I think I know a lot, but you guys, that will be a fantastic midfield. Anton Stach, Lee Kang-in. Lee Kang, that's the guy who sits on the bench for PSG, the guy who came from, was it Mallorca or one of the Spanish teams? Yeah. And then Mamadou Sangare, yeah, Manu Kone. That's a good shout. But player we have been linked to is Mateus Fernandez, and I read some updates tonight that Man United are looking at Mateus Fernandez at West Ham, and he could be one of those players that maybe we could get in the 50, maybe a little bit more, since it's West Ham, 50 to 60 million bracket. And especially if West Ham goes down, it looks bad for them right now. Spurs are looking better under the new coach, and West Ham is struggling, putting the games away and scoring enough goals. They have Bowen, but again, I feel they struggle a little bit, and they depend on it's tough for West Ham at the moment. So right now it looks like Spurs are staying up, and West Ham is getting relegated. So there are players on this West Ham team we could actually go for, and Mateus Fernandes is one of them. And for me, the Portuguese midfielder came from Southampton, played a brilliant season this season. The only question mark is he's only had like one good season in the Premier League. So again, could we see second season syndrome, dropping off? We've seen this with so many of these big players. We saw it with Kobbie Mainoo, second season syndrome, dropping off. We saw it with Baleba this season, dropping off after a fantastic first season. So it's a big gamble going for a player like Mateus Fernandes. But again, in my heart and my footballing mind and how I see football, I think he's one of the better players. You know, the way he plays the game, he takes control of the game and control of his own destiny when he's on the pitch. He's proactive, if you know what I mean. He likes to get involved. He likes a lot of touches. He's not afraid putting his face out there and wanting the ball. And for me, you know, that's Man United player quality, being the player who always screams and shouts for the ball, because we have had so many years now in the last 10 to 12 years with players hiding, players, you know, gone missing during games. And for me, you know, that's not Man United quality. So again, I think Mateus Fernandez could be one of the better players that we could bring in. I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Mateus Fernandez. And if any of you have heard any price bracket of Fernandez, I would be interested to hear, because I can only just guess 50 to 60 million, but maybe he has a relegation clause and we can activate that one if West Ham goes down. Another player that we have been linked to, and I covered this guy on my show the other day on Jarvis's Corner on Monday. For those of you who watched that show, at least 600-700 of you watched that show. There's a young guy who plays for Southampton in the championship. Southampton are currently, I think they came in fourth, so they are going into playoffs. But they have a young Northern Irish, but English-born player, Manchester-born and bred, came from the Manchester City Academy, and yeah, he looks really good. So let me just bring it up, and I don't know if you saw this, but Man United have are looking to strengthen their squad by signing a third midfielder for around 20 million, with scouts monitoring Southampton's Shea Charles. So again, you know, Shea Charles, for me, yeah, 100% Harrison. For me, great all-rounder. Could come in as the third or fourth option for Man United, and he could do a good job for us. I don't know, guys, if you have seen this guy play. I haven't seen many Southampton games this year. I watched a couple of compilations. I gone through all his stats. From what I can see, he's a tall guy. He's 6'2". He's young. I think he's 22 years of age. Plays for Northern Ireland. He's a regular international. I think he have 32 games for Northern Ireland this so far, despite his young age. And I remember Northern Ireland playing against Italy in the final qualifier, and I think he had a good game. So this is what I see. And for me, you know, I know it's an unknown name we haven't heard about, and no one has talked about him. But for me, definitely a guy I think we should look at. And for the cheap price of 20 million, I think it's a no-brainer. If we come into a position where, let's say, we spend a little bit too much on Baleba and a little bit too much on, let's say, Elliot Anderson, and then we have used 180 million of our budget already on just two midfielders, and we need a third option, us selling Ugarte. So let's say if we're selling Ugarte for 25 million euros, that's have been the asking price. Getting in a young, up-and-coming star, Manchester born and bred, Manchester City, FA Cup youth winner. I think this is something that we should look into, but you don't have to agree with me. I want to know your options. And I think also this is where Ederson comes in. I think we will try to go for a bargain price, knowing Wilcox and Berada probably come in with a cheeky bid, 35 million euros something, and see if we can land a deal with Atalanta. So yeah, that's just how I see it. Yeah, Kervin. Haven't seen him play, but at 188 meters, it makes sense. Yeah, that's 6'2" for you English-speaking guys on the island. 188 centimeters, so he's quite tall. But looking at its stats, yes, only like a 62.5% win rate of the aerial duels. He should have done better. I expected more. So there are certainly room for improvement. And also he gets dribbled past 0.86 per game. So I think he's a little bit reluctant putting in those tackles. So again, he's young. So it's a work in progress. And, coming in, let's say, as a fourth choice, being the guy who can see out games for Carrick, let's say, coming in the 78th minute, being a big guy, seeing out games, Carrick going into a back five and him being the shield in front of it could actually work. So that's just how I see it. Yeah, 100%, Jamie. This is what I'm saying. These players aren't good enough for my club. But I don't know, guys. I think we all felt the same when we talked about Sene Lammens in August, coming from the Belgium league. No one heard about him, and everybody wanted the Aston Villa goalkeeper or the currently Manchester City keeper Donnarumma, and everybody wanted the big names. But again, a big name doesn't always give you success. You need to have a successful transfer window, and it also includes these unknown players that we haven't heard about that can actually come in, because your name is one thing, but how you play with your feet is what actually counts. So yeah, well, it's just my personal opinion. So yeah. Stephen coming in. Stephen McGuire saying Ineos and Glazers out. 100%, my friend. Stay strong. Love United, hate the Glazers, and Ineos now being the guys who came in and made us keep the Glazers for another 10 to 12 years. So F them and F the Glazers and F Ineos and all of them. And King Solbo comes in and says, subscribe if you are new, please. Yes. Kervin says, yeah, brilliant build for the Premier League footy. Carrick, Cantona, Ronaldo, Henry. You're mentioning a lot of names. 100%. Those are the better names. I don't have any notes, so I have to just wing it when it comes to the latest. So let me just look through my notes on the screen to see what more do I have. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about this one. This report came out from Laurie Whitwell today, and it says exclusive Manchester United in advanced talks to confirm Betway, the gambling company, saying as a training kit sponsor. So a multi-year deal set to be agreed for next season, believed to be worth in the excess of £18 million per year. So fills the revenue gap after Tesso's partnership. And the Tesso's partnership ended after the 24-25 season. So we have been without a training kit sponsor for the last season. So this will be extra revenue, 18 million directly into our accounts. I read a lot of comments on Twitter today on this. A lot of Man United fans feel that a club like Man United shouldn't support betting and gambling. And from a personal perspective, my own perspective, I would say I agree. I don't think we should take sponsorship deals from alcohol, tobacco, and gambling companies. I think we should show a little bit of morale. Football is a lot of kids involved. It's not just about money; it's about something else. So this is my personal opinion. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but also another 18 million per year could mean, if you look at monetization and if you buy a player, let's say for £50 million, that's 10 million a year. So 18 million that will actually give us a player of, let's say, 50, 60 million bracket for free if you count monetization per year. So this sponsorship training kit deal could actually give us a lot of money and actually give us an extra player and the extra midfielder that we are talking about. So again, this is just where I land. Yeah, I can do a poll. I can do a poll. So yeah, is it just me? Comes in. They said it's mixed opinions on Betway. Not keen on a betting company sponsorship. United should be getting Adidas or a British fashion company to help the UK economy. Yes, I want to know what you what's your opinion on this. Then I'm against the betting sponsors, 100%. And King Solbo asked me to make a poll, and I can make a poll, guys. But I have to open my or can I do a poll on Noradin's channel? Let me see if I can do that. Let's see. And Noradin is always shadow banned. It's so hard to find this channel. YouTube won't show me his channel. Can't I make a poll? Let's see. No, I can't. I can't, my friends. I can't make a poll. It's not my channel. So no, I can't make a poll. But so you have to get your opinions in the live chat. Let me know. Would you take a sponsorship deal from a betting company or not? Is this something Man United should do? As I said, my personal opinion is I don't think we should take sponsorship deals from alcohol companies. Hey, there's Ben coming in. Big up, Ben. Big up, Ben. Oh, hey, my friend.
Big up, Jarvis. Big up the chat.
Big up. Thank you for joining me. I'm not sure where Noradin is. He will join us because he was doing a watch along with Saeed doing the Bayern Munich PSG game. But I just covered this. I don't know if you saw this. Man United are in advanced talk to confirm Betway as a training kit sponsor, a multi-year deal set to be agreed for next season, believed to be worth the excess of 18 million per year. So we had Tesos as our training kit sponsor, but that contract ended the 24-25 season. So my question to you then, Ben, is how do you feel about this? Is this a deal Man United should do? Should we involve ourselves with betting companies?
Absolutely not, Jarvis. Absolutely not. I mean, betting as a whole is, people have their views, but, at the end of the day, betting's betting at the end, and it won't go well. Like, Man United is a global fan base, and this sponsorship won't go down well with a lot of people, like who are, especially if they're religious and they're obviously against gambling, and it's not really.
But you don't have to be religious. You have some sort of morality.
No,
That's just what I'm saying.
100%, 100%, Jarvis. I mean, we've had way better sponsorships in years. Like I remember in the Man United's blue kit, we had so many really good sponsorships. Like I think sponsorships these days, Jarvis, have just dropped big time, and I don't know what it is, man. Obviously we're still sponsoring, Snapdragon, isn't it? Snapdragon.
Yes.
I know we have that, but I just think when I see sponsorships nowadays compared to back in the day, it's just different now, Jarvis. I think it's dropped off drastically. Whereas the likes of City and Arsenal and even Chelsea as well, man. They secure way better sponsorship deals than us, sadly. But it's a reality. At the end of the day, But obviously, it won't go down with people. There is a small certain percentage of the fan base that are really against Man United doing betting companies for sponsorships or deals and stuff. But what do you think? Are you okay with it?
Or? No, I'm not. As I said, I'm not very religious, but I do have a family. I do have kids. I know that a lot of people struggle with gambling, and many people have lost their homes. They have lost their family. they have lost everything because of this. You get addictive to gambling, and that's just the way it is. And I don't think we as a club should promote it. It's a sport. It's football. We should we should have better values in my estimation. So again, but also I saw someone, J Bad Forever United comes in and say, my opinion, I don't see why not. It's just business at the end of the day. Yeah. So I don't want to be the morale police and come in and tell everybody what you think, but it's my personal opinion when it comes to this. So, yeah.
100%. I mean, like, when you look back in the years of Man United's like sponsorship deals, obviously we had the lovely blue kit, like AIG, that was the main sponsorship. Then we had Vodafone, like even
Mhm.
phone companies as well. Like even if they decided we're gonna Android or iPhone or Vodafone or even internet branding companies too, I don't think anyone would be complaining as much. Obviously we've had Vodafone, obviously we've had Sharp,
Yeah.
the sponsorship as well, and as well as
AON
AON as
as a
AON.
bank,
Yes,
isn't it?
that's the
Or
one. Yes,
insurance.
yes, yep, and Chevrolet as well, like a car
Mhm.
brand, like there's there's so many ways. Like obviously, I mean, sort of a shareholder myself, so I obviously know what like the business sort of like team is like, and like
Yeah.
obviously like building like a brand and like promoting. It's like there's two sides of like like of a path you can take, and like the path of Man United are taking, I can see why they want to take it, because obviously we know who's running our football club, with obviously the Americans and the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But
Mm.
I just think they're going down a path where it just doesn't logistically make sense. Like realistically, I don't think like these past few years with Man United's these sponsors, like I don't actually necessarily agree that Man United's kits have been that good in these last few years, and I think the reason why is because the sponsors just have let them down big time. Like I'm not really a big fan of the Snapdragon brand. That's
No?
why, like one of the like, I'm just having another wee look there now. Like you look at the green and yellow kit. Yeah, sorry, yeah, green and gold kit. Like Sharp, the sponsorship in the front, Vodafone as well. Like it was nice. It had something. It had a meaning in it. Even AIG as well, and
Mm.
AON. You know, it just looks so. There wasn't too much going on, and I think one thing I really liked about Man United kits back in the day, it was so basic. There was not too much stuff going on the kit, and that's what really made it so unique. Whereas
Yeah.
these days, it's
Yeah.
just all over the show. Like they're just all over the show. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, but look, it's any us and Glazers at the end of the day. They're businessmen at the end of the day. So we just have to. We can't. We as fans can't do anything. Can't say anything. Sadly, so it is what it is. Really, if it generates some money,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, they want to produce and get everything, in the mega store. And
That's it.
it's at the end of the day, as someone mentioned in the chat, it's the business, and this is where Man United are going. So, uh, but for me, um, I'm not sure. But when it comes to Snapdragon, I think isn't it Qualcomm that's actually the main sponsor, and Snapdragon is just a chip that they are
Chip,
selling.
yes, yes,
So,
yes.
so basically, that it's not Snapdragon, it's Qualcomm that's
Oh,
our
yes, yep, that's
main
the one.
sponsor. Yeah,
Yep,
just to just to
yep,
clarify for you guys. You know me, I'm a very pedantic when it comes to stuff like this. um, yeah, a new rumor. We have been linked to a left winger. So I don't know if any of you know this guy. Manchester United have been shown interest in Lyon winger Alfonso Moreira. And also, I think this is a Portuguese source. Um, Abu Lapt coming in, and I don't know if you've seen this player or know anything about him. And if you don't, let's just do a quick presentation of this guy. And also, guys, if you know anything about this guy, let us know in the chat. I have never seen him play, so this will be purely based on stats and breakdown. And yeah. What are you saying? I hadn't even realized it's it's your T channel. The thumbnail was very suspicious, though. Big up Jarvis and the crew. Big up DJ Proof coming in. Big up my friend. Big up. Yeah, we are waiting for Nuruddin. Hopefully he will be joining us. He had some emergency, so I think it will be a little bit later than
Big up.
first expected. But I don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah, 260 people watching. We are not even on 70 likes. Guys, do us a favor. We are
Come
slaving
on,
in the
man. Like
kitchen.
the
It's
video.
Jarvis and Ben doing the substitute teacher role. I'm the interim, and
No, 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 no. I'm the interim. You're the coach. You're the coach.
okay. Thank you. Um, yeah, coming in and say I just watched a Brazil scout compilation and saw a comparison to Martinelli. So okay. So he's a Martinelli type of player, a pacey type of player who likes to carry the ball and take on his winger, can then probably cut in and shoot and go on the outside and cross. Could be the thing that we are missing, because we are missing an out and out left winger. Cunha is never that type of player. He likes to cut inside and find pockets, be playing his game in the half spaces. So again, I think for the tactical variation for Carrick, getting in a left winger that's holding his line would be great. And we could see it like in the first couple of games when Dorgus still was around for Carrick. We played differently. So yeah, that's just yeah. Big Rams also, we saw that compilation. Yeah.
I mean, I've never. I know he played for Sporting Lisbon a few seasons ago. I can't say I don't know much about him. One thing I will say, obviously, he's playing in the French league, so I presume his physicality and his intensity would be kind of strong. But for me, I don't necessarily think that we need a youngster left winger. I think we need to have a more experienced like left winger, someone who's played at the highest level, so he can compete against. Like we need competition, and the one thing
Yeah.
obviously I like about the right wing side of things is yes, Ahmad and Mbumo they haven't been performing, but we've got Shay Lacey in the making, so he can cover up for them. And then with
Yeah.
the left wing, we've got Cunha, we've got Dorgu, and then I would go and get like my if you were to ask me right now who would I go and get, I would go and get that PSG left winger, not Cabrascalia, the Baracula. Baracula.
Yeah. Barcola.
He's a good player, and I go all in for him. I just think that if you're gonna buy this player, I don't know how old he is. I presume he's very
Yeah,
young.
we can do a presentation of him
Yeah,
if you want to
that's
know
fine.
a
Yes,
little bit more. So this is Alfonso
21.
Moreira playing for Lyon at the moment. He's not the biggest player. He's only 176 centimeters, 1 meter and 76 centimeters. He's young. He's 21 years of age. Recently, March of 19, so he will be 21 for almost a year. He's Portuguese and is very cheap. If you look at his transfer value, is only 1.8 million euros. His contract ends in 2029. So far this season, his position, he plays as a left winger, he could play as a left midfielder and also a striker, but predominantly left winger. When you go to the player traits, you see shot attempts. He's another Garnacho, 79% when it comes to shot attempts. Goals, 73 percentile. This is interesting. Defensive
Very
contributions, 80%. So he's most likely a hardworking player. Also, when it comes to counter press play, and tracking back, doing his job. Weaknesses, aerial duels, only 38%, and 67 when it comes to chances created. That's medium plus, I would say. He came from the Sporting academy. Played a couple of years for Sporting. Probably had a loan for Gil Vicente. I think that's a French club. back to Sporting again, and then he got sold to Lyon for only 800 and 920,000 pounds. This season so far, he has 4 goals and 7 assists in 16 started games. So quite efficient when you look at the number of games. He played in total 25 matches and 1,537 minutes. And his overall rating this season is 7.15. So that's green and that's positive, I would say. If you go a little bit down and look at this XP referables, his stats, this is per 90 goals, all red and orange, nothing to talk about. So he needs to work on his outcome, his goals and assists. His passing abilities, when it comes to assists, is quite good. He's averaging 0.41 per 90, so he's in the 96th percentile compared to the top 5 clubs in Europe for all the left wingers. So that's really good. His passing is not good, 54.5. Accurate long balls, basically nothing. So he can't pass for tits. When it comes to crosses, he's quite good. He's in the 86.9 percentile, 1.52 per game. Successful crosses. That's decent. He wins a fair share of his duels, 6.15 a game, 81 percentile. He wins a lot of fouls, so he's probably he's very good in protecting the ball. I would say so. He probably don't lose the ball that often, I would say. So he wins 2.87 fouls per 90, and that's in the 94.9 percentile. That's very strong. Recoveries, that's good. Yeah.
I think when it comes to a left winger,
Nothing. I'm not impressed by these stats.
No, I'm not. I think when I come to the left wing, like everyone wants obviously goals, everyone wants this that. What I look for the left wing is the crosses. Like I said, if you're a good dribbler, if you're also a good passer as well, because we can't be having like going back to the Garnacho days, the Rashford days, who just can barely pass the fucking ball. But most importantly is crosses as well and creating chances as well, because your wingers need to create chances too. Like, your wingers are never the main man. Like we need to be moving on from the wingers being the main guys. It needs to be the striker in Benjamin Sesko. And when I see that he hasn't created enough chances, that's not a good look at all. Like, yes, obviously he could be a good player and keeping the ball, obviously winning fouls, but if you're not creating chances for your striker or creating chances for your team, then you're not going to get anywhere and you're going to get found out. And yes, obviously he might have good defensive attributes. Obviously, he might be positionally well disciplined, but at the end of the day, this is Man United. We're going to be competing against in the Champions League. This player we're showing right now, Jarvis. I like him, but I don't. I think with the Ndiaye, the one thing I don't really like is the fact he's not clinical enough.
No, but if you look at his heat map, he predominantly plays on his right for Everton. So we are looking at left wingers right now. So guys, who do we want to compare Alfonso Moreira with if we go to the heat map? What left wingers have we been linked to? Let me know. Do you have any suggestions, Ben?
I mean, I said, I mean, I think we did get linked to. No, obviously we got rumored by him. Obviously what I've just mentioned earlier on Barcola, but I don't
What's
think
the
we'll get
guy who plays for AC Milan? We have been linked to him.
I don't stay away from him, Jarvis. Rafael Leao.
Yes. Let's compare him with Liao. So just for the laughs.
Yeah.
Liao, Rafael Liao. So okay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with what am I doing? So let's just do it like this. Uh,
Oh,
okay, now you see it. So again, you see Alfonso Moreira, and on you can clearly see Liao. He likes to wander. Is more like a Cunha type of player, coming into the half winger. But if you look at this guy, he's very left-sided. He likes to hug the line, and I think he's mainly go on the outside and cross and try to make assists. So for Sesko, I think this will be good news having a player like this in our squad.
yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
You need someone that can do both, but predominantly, what that heat map, what that Leon player has, that's what a striker needs. Obviously, that's why I really love Shea Lacey so much, and I
Mm.
think Shea Lacey needs to be given a chance because Shea Lacey's not only people think Shea Lacey can only cut inside and shoot. No, Shea Lacey can go on the outside and whip across in. He can also like take play along the width and just take the ball and obviously crossing the box as well to Sesko. And this is just what I love about modern day wingers. I'm not really a big
Mm.
fan of like the likes of Marcus Rashford's profile, like where he cuts inside and he shoots. Like that's one thing I really get on to Cunha, even though he's actually improved a lot in these last few games. But
Yeah.
I just want Cunha to come more into his it'll be outside, yeah, towards the outside, towards the corner flag instead of like inside, because I think you know with Cunha's like dribbling skills as well, like I think Cunha would actually win a lot more like serious fouls and like even penalties as well, like crucial fouls. Like I just think Cunha needs to trust his ability more as a footballer.
Mm.
And I just think he's becoming more predictable, and that's what you do not want in a modern day winger right now. And if this guy, obviously, if we're looking at him, then with his heat map, I like the look of his heat map, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I can definitely understand. Let's say if you talk about Martinelli, as I said right away when someone mentioned Martinelli, he's the type that hugs the line, and I'm old fashioned. This is the type of wingers I actually like. I think there's too many of these modern type of wingers who likes to cut in and do it themselves. And I think from a tactical perspective, how I see football, it's not how football has evolved. I think we've gone away from that type of winger. Now we are more, we have a big striker in Sesko, so why not feed him with crosses?
Yeah,
And also I think football has evolved that the game is more for the box crashing midfielder type, McTominay, Casemiro type, who can come with deep runs into the box and just boom the ball into the goal. And also we even see it with PSG now with Joao Neves coming in with the deep runs and score on headers. So again, that's just how I feel that football are evolving at the moment. So maybe it's time to get one of those wide type of wingers, old fashioned type. But maybe not him then, but someone in that bracket. I don't know if you have any other names on in the top
I
of your
mean,
mind.
the left wing market is really dead at the moment, Jarvis. It's such a shame, man, because I remember like years ago, like a few seasons ago, the left wing market was ridiculous. There were so many options, but
Yeah.
um, I mean, look, if there's someone else I'd love to get, and people might think I'm crazy, but he hasn't been playing much at all at this club. But I really like him. There's just something in him. Um, Especially as I think he's definitely a modern day left winger. I know he's been playing the striker a lot, but what I like about this player is he's more focused on helping the striker more than helping himself, and that's what I love about footballers. They're always looking out for the team instead of himself.
Mm.
And the player is he's from Morocco. He plays for our rival in Manchester City, and it's Marmoush. And Manchester
Yeah.
City are looking to sell Marmoush this season. A lot of City
Are they?
fans, yeah. Because obviously, because they're so stacked, Jarvis. Obviously, they've got Semenyo now.
Mm,
In the door, they've got Cherky, Foden, Doku. You know, and Foden's going to be signing a new contract. Where is Marbush going to be? Or sorry, Egypt. That's sorry.
mm, mm.
Apologies, Egypt. Um. Uh. But yeah, look. Apparently, City fans have been saying that Man City really want they're looking to move him on. Apparently, he's not really happy that he's not been playing much. But I even before he went to Man City, I was all for Man United getting this player. I just love the profile in Marmoush.
I
Um,
know he played in the Bundesliga, didn't he? He played for,
really
was it
good player.
Leverkusen or
Leverkusen, yeah,
Frankfurt?
and
Yeah,
yeah, was it or was that the other one? No, it
Frankfurt,
was.
Leverkusen.
Oh,
Yeah,
was yeah, something like that, something like that. Anyways, but
yeah.
I really like
The
Marmoush.
Stuttgart. Yeah, yeah. Well,
I really do like him. Do you like Marmoush,
I
Jarvis?
rate him. I think he's a good player. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's very technical. He's a very balanced, natural, and I think he has great technique. He's very soft, with his touches.
Yeah.
But he also is very, very effective. So again, yeah, 100%. He's a good player. Um, but this is a good point made from the United fan coming in and say Mamouche is not a traditional winger, and yeah, that's also what I see. I see more as a 10
Oh, right.
type
Okay.
of
Right.
player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Um.
So do we really need him? Because I think he will just be competing with Cunha on for that place.
But the thing is, Jarvis, we need like no matter what left winger we're bringing in, we need to
Yeah.
be we need someone to be competing against Cunha and Dorgu. We can't be having someone where he's just going to hold the bench and learn off Cunha, learn off all these players. We need competition, and that's one of the biggest downfalls we've been having in the last few seasons. To me, I think Ahmad and Mbumo are getting far, far too comfortable in this team. Same
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Casemiro, same with even Kobbie Mainoo as well. The likes of Aiden Heaven, he has stepped up big time. Obviously
Mm.
he's seen that Lenny Euro hasn't been performing. Obviously, with Martinez out and Delit out, Ian Evans stepped up big time. And it's one of the reasons why the fullbacks as well haven't been addressed. I feel so sorry for Mazarawi, how he hasn't been given game time. But this is what I'm saying. As soon as you have competition, the likes of Diego Dalot, Luke Shaw, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
all these players, even Bruno Fernandez as well. Because obviously Mason Mount hasn't been doing anything in the Man United top. But if you have competition, it just makes life so much easier for not only for our team, but for the manager as well. Because the manager can then say, "Look, Cunha, you need to be stepping up because say Barakola or Marmoush is performing. He's performing better, and you need to do better." And it just allows them to go back into the training ground and say, "Look, I want to start in the first team." It boosts their mentality as well. Came
Mm.
out of Ahmad Diallo came out of Old Trafford. He looks so depressed, and that's not what you want to see. Yeah, Michael needs to say to him, "Look, Ahmad, neither you or Mbumo have been playing well, and this is why I've criticized Michael so much. Why doesn't
Yeah.
he start Shay Lacey and show look Mbumo, look Ahmad, Shay's starting because you two aren't up to scratch at the moment. You need to get back to the training ground, focus on yourselves, look at the mirror, and just freaking just go get cracking on. Like at the end, they were footballers. We're footballers at the end of the day.
Mm.
You have bad days and you have good days. It's not always doom and gloom. It's not always good.
No, but I think the drop off with Ahmad, that came, I would say, since December. Since
Yeah, I
he
agree.
went to the AFCON, he hasn't been himself after coming back. He looks out of ideas a lot of the time when he's on the ball. You see, but as I said on my own channel, I think the problem with Ahmad is the playing style of Carrick. We're not setting him up one against one because under Amorim,
Yeah,
we used to bait the opposition to one side, playing short, intricate passes with the diamonds of Amorim in the 3-4-3 system on one side, then shifted play over to the wing back who kept the width on the other side. So the shift of play from one side to the other always set up Ahmad one against one. And this is where he's strong. Now on the Carrick, we are more methodical. Carrick, we likes passes, a lot of passes. We doesn't necessarily play on one side. We go through Mainoo, Casemiro. We could go up to Cunha, spend a lot of time, and we seldomly shift play. It's for me it goes through Bruno, and then we go to the wings when we play from one side to the other, and it takes a little bit too much time. And Ahmad is always set up 1 against 2, so we're not playing into his attributes.
Strengths. Yeah.
So this is how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it's just a confidence thing. But I think Ahmad is where in a place right now where he needs to learn the game again, and evolve and adapt, because it's obviously not working right now. So we need to spend this summer really hard working on what to do in those situations. I would like to see him when he's up 1 against 2 to set up 1-2s with Dallo, set up 1-2s with Mbumo, or cut directly inside if a dummy run comes from one or the other, and then cut inside and try to shoot. So I,
Yeah.
I would like to see more of Ahmad, but he
Yeah.
needs help. I
Yeah.
even remember Ahmad when he started under Ten Hag. We had that summer when we actually played quite well in the friendlies, and we had Mason Mount always doing the diagonal run, dragging and opening up the space, because this is what Ahmad needs. He needs space to drive and go into. As long as he's not have that space, Ahmad is not a player that fits the system.
I think, yeah, 100%. I do agree with the whole system thing. I knew even when Carr came in, I knew Ahmad was going to be himself. Like I knew he was going to drop off, and I don't wish it on any player, but I think this actually will benefit Ahmad big time.
Mm,
Just obviously this is probably his first time hitting a barricade wall in a way, because obviously Amram loved him. Ten Hag didn't like him, but the thing is with under Ten Hag is he never really played much at all. Whereas Amram was probably his first coach. He was developed into the first team squad. But he needs this. Like Ahmad needed this, and like I said, it only takes a few. I'm just glad it's towards the end of the season where Ahmad can just fix up.
yeah.
I think the issue with Ahmad is I like him. I want him to be more versatile. I think he's just far too predictable at the moment for me. Even
Mm,
under in the Amarim system as well, he's so like keen on getting onto that left foot and just shooting straight away. I think he needs to be like. He needs to be. I mean, we've just seen. We watched the. I watched the Arsenal game there in the weekend against Fulham, and you've
mm.
seen Saka in the wing, and obviously Saka's been. He has been great this season, but one thing I really want Ahmad to be is more so like a wee bit like what Saka does. He like mixes it up as well. Sometimes he cuts in the inside and shoots.
Mm.
Sometimes he goes around the outside and takes it towards the 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 corner flag and just like obviously cut across and with his weak foot. And I think Ahmad's weak foot needs to be improved. I think that's a one thing he needs to be working on. And as well
Yeah.
as that is finishing as well. I think his finishing is the key aspect for Ahmad. But see, defensively as well, I think he's been. I don't think he needs to be working on that because obviously with Amram's system, obviously him being a right wing back, he was so defensively minded as well, and this is what you
Mm.
need in modern day footballers. But this, I don't actually necessarily agree with all the fans like going so hard on them and all that. I still see a talented footballer in Amad Diallo, and I just think he needed this.
100%. His talent is nothing. What I'm saying is nothing about bashing Ahmad or telling him that he's not talented, because he clearly is. He's one of our most talented players. He's a natural. Um, but I also think he needs to adapt his game.
He
Yeah,
does
well, that's what I'm saying. It's not criticism, or at least it's constructive criticism from my side,
constructive.
where I think I'm just speculating where the problem with Ahmad lies. I just want to say, someone mentioned Anthony Gordon as a
No,
potential. Is Anthony Gordon good enough for us from the NLP? I like Anthony Gordon. That's just my. You're not.
Not for me. I mean, I love. I mean, I've
Be
spoke to
honest, Ben. Be honest. Be honest.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, I've one of the teams I watch outside of Man United is Newcastle. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Eddie Howe's system and how he uses the fullbacks, like bit similar to like the Jurgen Klopp fullbacks and back in the day. You know, obviously his midfield as well, his midfield three being so just the combinations as well, like, you know, just all three of them linking so well together. But see, when it comes to Anthony Gordon, I just have not been impressed with him at all, man. I just see a Rashford profile in the making again. Like, I know this might sound harsh, but not for me. And I think, I mean, someone said in the comments there, I can't remember who it was. It's on up the comments. We actually have heard this guy's name from Leipzig. Diomande.
Yeah, Antonio Nusa.
No, Diomande. Diomande, is that
Diomande? Yes,
Diomande. Yeah, but I've also heard him as well. Jarvis, the Norwegian, isn't he? Nusa.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nusa,
I like
Nusa.
him.
But he's too injury prone at the moment. I wouldn't go for him. You know, he's a massive talent, as technical as Neymar. If you can do the comparison, if you don't know what type of player he is, but you know, yes, his legs are made of crackers. You know, he can't take a tackle. He would just break apart 100%. So for me, no.
Diomande, you know, I mean, I don't really watch much of the German league, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about Diomande. Yeah, apparently a lot of big clubs are in for him as well, which is good to see. Like, but let's see.
Yeah,
but not for
we
me.
We do have an option. We have Rashford, and he could probably be better than Gordon. You know, but there are some reports that came out today about Rashford, and you know, it's not the strongest source, but I like to talk a little bit about Graham Bailey, and he comes in and say Marcus Rashford remains determined to continue his spell with Barcelona and play under Hansi Flick, despite uncertainty of the future of Manchester United outcast. And also there were some reports that Man United are not looking to bring Marcus Rashford back into the first team squad. So, you know, we don't want Rashford. Rashford don't want us. Barcelona don't want to pay for Rashford. And this is where the situation lies at the moment. And by the way, we have Eski in the building. So let's bring in Eski.
Yes.
Big up, Eski.
Yes. Good evening. How we doing? You all right?
We're good. I'm not sure where Nuruddin is. He was supposed to join us. I think he has had an emergency. Maybe he will join us, maybe not. But guys, keep on watching. We will still be here and give you guys a show. So I don't know, Eski, we're talking about left wingers, and you know, we talked a little bit about Rashford and his situation at the moment. So, you know, we are looking at left wingers. We are looking at Ndai. We are looking at Diomande. We have been linked to now this guy from what's his name? I don't know.
Is it Ajax?
So, yeah, Alfonso Moreira of Lyon. That's the recent link, you know. But he's just a typical old-fashioned winger, likes to hog the touchline, you know, the byline. So again, would you bring back Rashford?
But I said previously that I wouldn't. I just think that bridge is, you know, it's burnt. It's you know, ship has sailed, as they say. I think if the wages weren't that much of an issue, I don't think Barcelona would be adverse to keeping him. I literally think it's just a wage issue. You know, Barcelona struggles and stuff. So for me, I think, you know, it would have been all right for him to just stay there, but I don't think they can afford him. Obviously, I think winning the Champions League might have changed things. You know, more revenue coming in, but I don't think they can afford to at this time. But I think, you know, could he go to a team like Villa and do well? Yeah, I think so. I just think for me, yeah, I'm not sure we go back there. Like look at the team now. Like, we don't hear any external noise. No one's leaking team sheets. No one's you know, on nightclubs, no one's getting pissed up. Not that we hear anyway. But you know, it's true though, Ben. It just seems like there's a change. Like, since you know, give Amarim some credit. He did get rid of all the bad eggs and stuff. And since then, that, you know, all this season we've not had, you know, all the shite that we've had this season has been either racist stoners or our shite performances on the pitch. We've not had any off the field antics or play. So in terms of the temperament of the squad, I like this team. You know, that's the first thing you have to do. You know, obviously, standards are low, but it goes to basics. Do you like what you see from this team? Does this team reflect what you want to see week in, week out on the pitch? And I want to say, yeah, and I'm not trying to say Rashford comes in and he's going to bring everyone down and he's a bad egg. I don't think that's the case, but I just think we've moved on from certain things. He's done what he can. He's a hero for the club, and he's not legend or anything like that. But he's come in, boyhood club, won some things for us. Could have maybe broken Rooney's record. Everyone says that, but yeah, for me, no, I wouldn't take him back. And it's nothing against Rashford. It's just, I just think we're moving forward now as a club, as a unit. So I just wish him all the best, to be fair. But no, I wouldn't take him back.
No, yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. But now the second question: who would you bring in? Because we know we need a left winger. So something mentioning Yildiz and Antonio Nusa. We've got Anthony Gordon. We have been linked to a couple of names, and Rafael Leao, AC Milan. So who would you pick?
For me, I know it's the left winger from, is it Ndiaye from Everton. I think we got an Ndiaye in our academy. That's why I get confused. But I think it's Ndiaye from Everton. He's not bad. I think it all depends on prices. I mean, look, Chelsea sold Madueke for 50 million to Arsenal. Obviously, we had that player who went to Ilanga. He went to Nottingham, and then they sold him for 50 million to Newcastle. These are the going rates of Premier League wingers, whether they're decent, shit. Not, do you know what I'm saying? Like, so where the market is now, we'll have to see who sets president, and we'll see how the market shapes up this year. But we just know it's probably going to be similar to the last couple of years. Finances have stayed probably the same. It'll be a slow one. I do think I anticipate a lot of fans getting upset that we've not signed anyone straight away when it's a World Cup year and other teams haven't really done it. But you know how it was. Even last year, we were upset that we only got Cunha out the way. Then it took us months for Mbeumo and all the rest of it. But going off that, I think, out of the attackers that we've signed, obviously Sesko's come in, he's done really well, especially this half of the season. I think he's scored the most goals in the league this calendar year, I'm pretty sure, out of all the strikers. Might have to fact check me, but he is up there, he's done well. But look, we bought Mbeumo, we bought Cunha. Mbeumo dropped off a little bit. His performance against Liverpool was really good, I thought, anyway. But, Premier League proven wingers there. I know people are talking about Gordon. I like Harvey Barnesby. I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned him. I think Harvey Barnes might be a decent option. Unsure of his his fitness record this season, but he's a good little player there. I don't know if 35 million might tempt him there. Looking around the league, I'm not sure, but for me, I think it's getting a striker in. I know I've always mentioned I'm a big fan of Mateta. He's on a free. There's that. I think, is it Harry Wilson? I think he's on a free as well. There's a couple of players out there we can get on a free and really strengthen the squad. But in terms of the names mentioned, I wouldn't take Rafael Leao. Big unknown quantity there. I think he's better than Nico Williams. But remember the Nico Williams hype a couple of years ago? Everyone said, he should go Barcelona, and he's turning them down, and he's trying to be this, that, and the third. Some players are like a flash in the pan players. For me, I think we need to win the Champions League. Now, I'm not saying we're going to challenge or anything for next year, but again, my notion has always been bring 4 or 5 first teamers at least that are going to elevate this team. And I'm not sure any of those players there are real names. Even Anthony Gordon, I know he's had a good season here, but could he come to Manchester United and then start performing? There's certain expectancy that you have from your wingers. I mean, Ahmad's not had the best of second half of the season. I think everyone can say that, but he's proved that he's when he's on form and he's done good in games, and there's something there. But I think as a new player to come in, you have to kind of hit the ground running as an attacker. We're lucky this season. All our attackers come in and almost soon enough, without Sesko, hit the ground running. So that's it for me. It's a tricky one. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
I like your shout on Mateta. I think he brings a presence. He's very strong. He's big. He has a lot of experience, and also I think if you bring in a player like Mateta, I think a young player like Benjamin Sesko could learn a lot from him. Playing the game, because we know he needs to learn more about the physical side of the game, and he's better and better. I said it in my match reaction that I think Benjamin Sesko was one of our better players in the Liverpool game because of the job he actually did. And you didn't see him as much on the ball, but the job he did without the ball, dropping down, dragging Konate with him, opening up that space for Bruno to run into, and always being an option, and helping out into the midfield with his presence. So again, I think it's an underrated role being the number 9 now in the modern game, and I think Mateta could actually come in and do a very good job and not being the bench option for Sesko. I think it would be the other way around. I think Mateta would be the starter, and Sesko will still be the understudy if we bring in a player like Mateta. So yeah, I think it's a good option. And talking about going back a little bit to the wingers, someone mentioned a guy from Ajax. I don't know if you guys seen anything about him. He's
Young kid, yeah.
Yeah. I saw a compilation. He has some fantastic goals. So it's Mika Götze. I think he's Belgium, playing now for Ajax in the Eredivisie, and yeah, he's Belgium. Right-footed, he likes to cut in, plays on the left-hand side. Contract ends in 2029. Not the biggest guy, 1 meter 76 centimeters. Could be a problem in the Premier League, but again, he's young, he can adapt, quick feet, very technical on the ball. Predominantly left winger in his position. Player traits, like to create chances, have a lot of touches on the ball, takes a lot of shots, and has an incredible output when it comes to goals, 95%. Weaknesses is defensive contributions and aerial duels, obviously because of his size. Its transfer value is 20 million euros, but I think we will have to go, probably 35 to 40 million for this type of player. And Ajax, when you think of when they sold us Anthony and something, so they don't want to sell him cheap. They know he's a gem. So 40 million maybe. This season so far, his stats are 17 goals in 28 starts and 12 assists in 30 matches total, 2,500 minutes played, a cheeky 7.9 rating in 30 matches. That's quite remarkable, I would say, 7.9. So, his stats tells a story. But again, it's the Eredivisie. You never know what you get. And if you look at his FB referables, it's green all over the place, except headers. That's and he likes to take risks. He's only in the 60 percentile when it comes to successful passes. I want to see, but he's green in most areas. But defensively, possession, I would say duels won is weak. Likes to dribble, 2.9 per 90, so he likes to take on his fullback. And defensively, mostly of this is weak. Other than possession won in the final third, so he knows how to counter press. That's at least a good thing. So again, and also if you go to his heat map, let's compare him to a player someone else mentioned in the chat, Summerville of West Ham. So you see his heat map looks very good, Mika Götze, and Summerville is more of a winger that likes to hug his line.
Yes, that is actually. Do you know what's crazy, Jarvis? As we were speaking, I'm actually literally looking up the West Ham and Man United game, because I remember, I couldn't remember his name. I remembered this like winger when we played them at their ground, and he was a left winger, and he came on as a sub, and as soon as he came on as a sub, West Ham just looked absolutely dominant against us, and he was just, every time I was watching him on the ball, he was just literally he was literally skipping past everyone, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. And like I said, you just said there, it was Somerville from the West Ham, and I couldn't remember his name. And I like him, Jarvis. I really do like him. I do like him.
It was the Niall P who mentioned his name. He said Somerville of West Ham or discount X Leeds Gum. Yeah, well, we signed Eric Cantona, so we can never say never from Leeds. We also signed, what's his name? The guy who played in the 2000s. English.
Alan Smith?
Alan Smith.
Oh, Alan Smith. Yeah.
So we have done it before. It could be done. But it depends, and Leeds, and West Ham. But, if West Ham goes down, I think these players are up for grabs. Somerville will never play a year in the Championship. Same goes for Mateus Fernandez. I think the same goes for Jerry Bowen. Same goes for, I think, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League on the second half of the season, Mavropanos. I think he's been brilliant for West Ham. We know the fullback, the Senegalese guy. What's his name? Yeah, the brilliant game for us, the fullback.
Oh,
The
yeah, the one we're looking at, Juve.
Yeah, Diouf.
Yeah,
So there are some players in this West Ham team that we can actually go for if they have, let's say, a release clause, relegation clause, something.
good player, very good
Yeah,
player,
hmm
yeah.
very
That's
very
just
good.
how I see football, because I think now we can't just build quality. We can't just live with 3 quality signings this summer like we did last summer. We have to go for both quality and depth. We
Right.
need more depth because of Champions League. That's 8 more games at minimum, and we most likely go through the last 16, last 8. Who knows how
You
far
have the
we can go?
guts.
So
Yeah.
maybe we are
Yeah.
talking about an extra 16 games because of the Champions League and
Yeah,
deeper cup run. So maybe 20 games extra. So we're talking about 60 games a season.
yeah. I mean, I am. I mean, I was speaking to Shakarian and Cleese earlier on. And I was in Belfast there today. I was out with my missus, and I'm really good friends with George Best's niece. She plays in a football club in a division lower than me, and I seen her in Belfast, and she was with a fella, obviously, like I think it looked to be in his 40s or 50s, I don't know how old he is, but he looked old, and I was like, "Oh, how are you? All good?" And now obviously we're chatting away because obviously she knows obviously my club, my previous club now, because obviously I moved club now. I'm moving club in at the end of the summer,
Okay, yeah.
and
How much
she's
do they have to pay? How what's the transfer fee?
no. So
Undisclosed. Undisclosed.
I told the therapy army yesterday. So it's so there's 5 divisions in the Irish League, and there's a Premier division, and then after Premier, it's professional. So
Okay.
the one that the club I was at before, the one I'm at currently at the moment, they're in Division 4, and the one I've been accepted is Division 2. So
Oh,
three more. So big jump. But I'm delighted, man. I go and check it out yesterday. Job was a really good stream from me and Nerdin. But yeah, it's all love and
but you do know, Ben, when the higher up you go, you have to go
oh
to the gym. You
oh
have to
yeah,
bulk up
100% job,
because the
hundred
physical
percent
strength
Jarvis.
is something else. The higher you
100
come up.
100% Jarvis. But no, honestly, it's all love for the former club and the new club as well, man, because they were so supportive, and that's what you need in football as well. Like just someone to,
Mm.
obviously put your arm around and stuff. Like they're also very supportive, man, and
Yeah,
it's
they
all
have
love, man.
supported you through your latest
Hundred
injury.
hundred percent
How
Jarvis,
many
and
months were you out? You were out like
oh,
6, 7
6
months?
months, Jarvis,
Yeah,
six
yeah, yeah,
months,
yeah, yeah.
and they said as well, look, Ben, if it's too much of a step for you, then we're happy to have you back at the club, and that's so nice, man.
Yeah,
It's very
respect,
very good,
respect to them.
very good to hear that. But no, just to cut back on my story. So I was speaking to George Best's niece, and the fella who was with him was Callum Best. And if you guys do not know who Callum Best is, that is George Best's son. And I was
Wow.
speaking to George Best's son, and he's obviously still a massive United fan. And I'm chatting away to him. He said, firstly, he says his dad's spirit and soul will always be forever at Old Trafford, and he's not really a big fan and happy. I don't think he even said his whole family isn't necessarily happy that Old
No.
Trafford is getting knocked down and they're building another stadium because it just doesn't feel right, like for George himself as well, and obviously his family. But he says, look, it's not really, they just said let them do what they want to do, the Glazers and any else. But look, he said I wrote down because I've actually wrote down. I told Shakarian. He actually said that well, I asked him. I said, "What's your thoughts on Carrick? What's your thoughts on the signings we need this summer? When do you reckon Man United will challenge for the Premier League?" And his
Mm.
his his transfer list was he would love to sign Elliot Anderson, Chouameni, Sungari from the French league. He said he would love a fullback in Lewis Hall or Baldy from Barcelona. And then he
Mm.
says he says he w- he says it's essential that Man United need to sign a right back but he says he couldn't really name any right backs at the time I was speaking to him.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned as a main striker, that Norwegian striker, Athletic
Sørloth.
prisoner, Sørloth, yes.
Yeah,
He actually said
Hmm.
for Man United to go for him and to learn off Sesko, and also that's
Hmm.
at I think it's Paco from Paris Saint-Germain, the defender Paco.
Pacho.
Pacho,
yeah.
Pacho. And he says like those are the signs that Man United would need. I then asked him when do you reckon Man United will challenge for the Premier League? He says 2 seasons. And I said, wow, serious? He says, yep. And he says, but he says 2 seasons as long as Man United get the recruitment right. That's the most important thing, and also decide on what the future is with our coach as well. Because I asked him as well, like, does he believe in Ineos's vision? And his first initial reaction was he laughed out loud. He actually laughed out loud when I mentioned Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So I won't say any more. He must not be a big fan of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He actually even said as well he didn't like his comments, like those comments he said about immigration and stuff months ago. He says the Man United fan base back then wouldn't have tolerated it, or even he actually thought that if they were running, if they were in charge like years back then, Sir Jim probably would have stepped down as owner, because like life back then was a lot more as chaotic and serious back then. But look, it is what it is. But look here, that's my first time ever meeting George Best's son. Obviously, I'm really good friends with his niece, and pick up the Callum Best, man. Obviously, his dad, his father, Georgie Best, like he always will be forever in the Red Devils' hearts, man, and soul, and his soul will never ever be gone out of that Old Trafford, man, and Manchester as well, man. I just want everyone to understand that George Best was just one of the greatest footballers to ever.
Absolute legend of the club. I saw I was just swapping through some reels, and the other day I saw George Best, challenging. I think it was Northern Ireland playing against England, and who was the goalkeeper? Was Banks at that time? Or
Banks,
Banks,
yes,
Banks is going to kick the ball, and George Best, he just steals the ball from him mid-air and score. But I don't know why, but it was disallowed. So you are not allowed to steal the ball from the goalkeeper while he's doing his goal kick. So that's just the rules, even back then, But he was so quick with his feet and especially with his head, the way he reacted to situations. So George Best, absolute legend.
100%.
You guys gave me a cameo when it comes to this, and let's just move on the show. Talking a little bit about left backs, because Tyrone Marshall, Manchester Evening News came out today with this one and said Man United are in the market for a left back this summer and have run the rule over potential Premier League recruits, including Lewis Hall at Newcastle and Arsenal youngster Myles Lewis Skelly. And also we know we have been linked to, someone mentioned the Barcelona Balde, we have been linked to Borussia Dortmund, Julian Ryerson. Might I say, I think it's 16 assists or 17 assists so far this season in the Bundesliga. We have been linked to the West Ham fullback Diouf, Senegalese, AFCON champion this season. There are lots of names to pick from. I think the fan favorite is Lewis Hall. A lot of people talk about Lewis Hall, but people in the chat, let me know who do you prefer, and Eski, what's your preferred pick when it comes to a left back, and what traits do you look for in a left back?
Honestly, I would prefer. Well, I'll take both. First of all, they're really good options for me. I think fullbacks, especially in the modern game, it's like I know we shit on Luke Shaw a little bit. He's actually had a good season, to be fair. Luke Shaw, I think he's played all the games this season in Premier League, which is his first ever. To be fair, I think I was watching Lewis Skelly play against Atletico the other night, and he was just strong. He was tenacious. Obviously, young, he's fearless. He can play he can play midfield, but I don't want to see like in there really. I want the fullback to play that. But obviously, if he's versatile, great. But from what I've seen of Lewis Skelly, I really like him. Obviously, like I said, I would take both, but for me, I'm going to go with Lewis Skelly. I just think he's looking at Chido Obi, he's looking at Aiden Heaven, and he's there like, club at Man United, they give youngsters a chance. Aiden Heaven, I think, is the bargain of, however long you're going to say. Obviously, still got a long career to work out, but I mean, if you told me you're going to buy an academy prospect from Arsenal, and you're going to play him, and he's going to get a clean sheet at Stamford Bridge, he's going to play at home against Liverpool, and not look out of place, I'd be there like, let's see in it. But he's actually done it. We just take these things for granted, as football fans, as United fans. Sometimes you got something good there, you just overlook it and think, oh, what's the next best thing? But I think for me, Lewis Skelly, I think he's a player that we would be looking at. I think Arteta or the club may have reacted to the news a little bit and started to play him a little bit more, because I've noticed that since the talk started coming out, he has played a little bit more for Arsenal, and I just thought, are they trying? Because so they don't want his head to turn. They're just going to say to him, "Oh no, we want you to play. We want you to play, and here you go. Playing on the big stage again in the Champions League." So I do think it's one of them ways. It might be tempted, but I think Lewis Hall might be the more gettable option, and probably be a bit cheaper. Newcastle having a torrid time this season. I think the bottom half of the table somewhere just languishing down there. And what's funny as well, a lot of teams, if they don't win or get like one win in the next three, they could finish like 16th. I think if Chelsea don't win a single game, there's a chance they finish 16th. Do you know what I'm saying? I know side tangent, but essentially, so I think Lewis Hall for me, I think would be okay. I know Ben mentioned he was chatting to Callum Best again, another legend. I think actually my dad has a signed picture of George Best, and as a kid, obviously me growing up like in Manchester and stuff, I was taught about him and stuff and this and that, and I was just there like, what? No, really? And then when you still work in retail a couple of years ago, I'd speak to people like older United fans like in the 70s and stuff, and I'd always say to them, I say, obviously you watch George Best play, and they'd go, yeah, of course, and I'd say, is he as good as these guys? Messi, Ronaldo, is he better? And honestly, loads of people would tell me, yeah. And then one time that solidified it, there was a Liverpool fan, diehard Liverpool fan, and he was like 60 odd as well, and he said to me, "So the best player I've ever seen was George Best." So I don't know the bigger admiration you can get from that, but for me, I would take any of them. I know you couldn't think of a right back at the time, but I would go for Pedro Munoz for the right side if we're talking there. It seems to me with all this left back talk as well. I know Luke Shaw is getting on, but then it just seems, maybe we're looking at Dorgu to play left wing. For me, that's what I would try. I think since Carrick's come in, he's trying to kind of implemented that. And then we've seen when he got injured, we kind of lost something from the game. And my games became a little bit more chaotic. I think him holding the width on there and being a proper natural left winger was actually really good. I know Cunha's coming in and doing a job, but all of his damage is him drifting inside the pitch. Dorgu's got the pace to go up and down. He's a willing runner, quite strong, tenacious. Obviously, the injury come out at a very unfortunate time. But I think he was, seriously coming into his own. And I think there was an interview that come out recently where he said the comments from Amarim kind of hurt him a little bit when he said that he's not confident on the ball. If you remember those comments or something like that, he's not confident in games. And I think he said that kind of, not rocked him, but I think it kind of, it got to him a little bit. He's a young kid coming from a different league, he has to come here, family, this, that, and the third. So I do think he's come into it himself. But yeah, for me, I'll take either of these. But my preference is Lewis Skelly. Plus he comes from a big club as well, so he kind of knows the expectations. Lewis, the other lad, it might just be a little bit of coming to a territory, might not settle in straight away. But again, he's got his Arsenal teammates here as well in Chido and Evan, so easy settling period. So I go for Lewis Skelly.
Okay. And from the fullback himself, Ben, you are a fullback, so you know how it is to play that role. So what do you think Man United need?
I think it's very important. We need to be very careful as well how we want our fullbacks to play. Me personally, I how I see a modern day fullback, like myself as well, is I like a fullback that, like for me, I like drifting into the midfield, inverting, and I also like pushing up and overlapping. You need to have a bit of both. There has to be a balance. You can't always just have one attribute and just be always up there and overlap or underlap, obviously your partner. But I know Lewis Skelly loves inverting. That's one thing I really like about Lewis Skelly. And Lewis Hall, we know what he's like. He's electric up the pitch. And obviously I watch Newcastle a lot. I love how Lewis Hall just whips those crosses in, man. It's dangerous excuse my language, every fucking time. It's mental, like how Newcastle just like the whole Newcastle fan base just absolutely love Lewis Hall. Like they think it's been one of their best signings in over these years, obviously alongside Tonali and obviously Bruno G. But this one's very, very difficult, man, because you got Lewis Hall who can come up and down the pitch. He's so good overlapping. He's unbelievable overlapping. But can Lewis Hall do the inverting role if, say, for example, hindsight, I'm not going to say Dallow's going to be here, but if Lewis Hall is going to drift into the midfield to help the midfield, is Dallow going to be pushing up and overlapping, obviously, like as he's been doing? Or are we wanting to have both full-backs up and just have no inverting? Like, this is what we need to find out what Carrick wants, or Carrick or whoever is going to be the next coach, what he wants to do, because we've seen how the likes of Man City, how they play with Nico O'Reilly when he plays left back. He always drifts into the midfield, helping Rodri and Gonzalez. We have to figure out what we want to do for full backs. For me personally, I think right now, I think logistically, I think Lewis Hall probably suits us more, because the issue we've been having in these years, probably even near a decade, is our left side of where Cunha, Shaw, and all that. The biggest issue we've had in that left hand side is no one's overlapping anyone. Like, even Martial, when he was there, there's no one overlapping Martial. There's no one helping Martial at all. And this is even Garnacho, even Rashford as well. When that our fullback never overlapped in that side. And I think for me,
true.
I think for me right now, if I'm going to pick between the two, I'm leaning towards Lewis Hall for me, because I'm looking out for more the attacking side of things. I think the midfield, the fact that we're getting three, hopefully we're getting three midfielders, I can allow my fullback to invert, because the thing is, it's very easy to coach a fullback to invert. It's very, very easy. So look, we'll have to see what happens, but Lewis Hall for me.
Okay. King Solbo comes in and says, smash the likes. People, we are not on 100 likes. It's very disappointed.
Wow,
we have over 400 people watching at one time. So guys, do us all a favor.
Come on, people.
Ease down and just press that thumbs up button, and
like the video as well.
Give 100 like for Nuruddin, if you believe in freedom of speech. This channel is one of the front runners when it comes to freedom of speech, and we need more channels like this. Unless YouTube will just be filled with Sky and Man United official channels and the Sun Sports and all of this overlap stuff, you will stop seeing independent creators anymore. People with a true voice, talking the voice of the real fans. So guys, smash the like. It's so important. I want to chip in when it comes to the fullback debate, and this caught my eye. The United fan 11 coming in and say Ferdi Kadioglu, the Brighton left back, and for me, he was the one I wanted last summer when before Brighton signed him. I think he's a fantastic player, so versatile. I think he can even play as a midfielder, but he's very good. He has a very good drive on the ball. He's so hardworking. He's not pretty on the eye, he doesn't look very elegant, but he's very, very hardworking. So again, he can contribute going forward and defensively. So for me, he would be an all-out action figure type of fullback. I think we should sign. But I also have other names. I think I don't know what happened with Ait-Nouri when he signed for Manchester City. He's out in the cold. Maybe we could do a cheeky bid for Ait-Nouri, get him on the cheap, or even the guy who Kadioglu replaced for Brighton, Pervi Estupiñán, who plays for AC Milan this season. I think he's an astute left back. He's 28 though, and maybe too old for the Ineos reign, because they only want players on the first and second contract. But again, if we're looking at quality and players we want to bring in, that's probably where I would look. And my personal choice will always be Julian Ryerson, who plays for Borussia Dortmund. Not just because he's Norwegian, but the way he plays the game is very, very good. It's very underrated. And for people who don't watch the Bundesliga, at least you watch a couple of games in the Champions League and just go look at his stats. It tells you a different story. So maybe you will have if you watch a couple of Norway games in the World Cup, you will you will see more of Julian Ryerson.
Even another shout as well, Jarvis, just to point out as well, the Bournemouth left back as well, Trafford.
Yes,
He's been
brilliant.
very, very good this season, Jarvis. And I know obviously, look, we got so hyped up with Kirkes, but one thing like I can just like the thing is I loved Kirkes when he was at Bournemouth, but when it comes to Truffert, I just can see a very like even when how he like crosses the ball as well. He has a lovely technique on the ball. Like it's see him compared to Kirkes when he was crossing. It's just night and day, and I really like that. I remember Nurden talking about him as well.
Yes, yes.
Truffert, he's a really really good player. Jarvis too. Like I don't know how old he is. I think he's young. I'll just look him up here now.
Yeah, check out. Yeah, and we have also been linked to Trafford. I know his according to sources. Then all of these wild rumors. Trafford is one of the players we are considering for the left back role. So it's interesting to see where we would go from here. But according to Manchester Evening News, it's Lewis Kelly and Lewis Hall. And when it comes to my point on Lewis Kelly, I think he's very good. He's very balanced. I think he has a good engine on him. My problem with Lewis Kelly is I think he inverts a little bit too much. He almost operates as the inverted fullback, a midfielder in the Arteta system when he plays. And I'm not quite sure if this is where Carrick want to go with this. Maybe it will give him another string to play on next season. So again, there's so many options. I just want to. I see we have been doing this now for 1 hour 50 minutes, so we will wrap up in let's say 5-6 minutes time. Some short updates. Toby Collier has been. Maybe he will be offered another season loan with Hull. Depends on Hull's promotion plans. They are in the playoffs right now. They beat Wrexham on the goal line, coming in sixth. So they are in the playoffs. And Collier has done quite well for them since January. And he's a player they want to see more of. And also when it comes to another loanee, Sekou Kone, he will head out on a loan again next season, although to a club with a better fit. He will not go to Switzerland or Lausanne Sports, so he just needs more games. Rade Vitek will come back and be a part of the summer friendlies, but he is also one of those players who would most likely go back on a loan because he don't prefer sitting as a backup for Sene Lamans. So all that's the updates on the loanees. And one news that came out from Nate Salt today. I want to show you this. I don't know if you saw the new Man United shirt release. Did you see it, Eski?
No, go on. Let's see.
Yeah, well, it's not the best picture, but according to Nate Salt, it's fairly accurate. It comes in and said Man United are set to debut next season's shirt in the Nottingham Forest and Brighton games. So we'll probably see Man United play with a new shirt in the next 2 home games. Okay. Would that get you more tempted to put money into the Glazers' pockets?
No. Don't be fooled, guys. Anyone in the chat that's thinking, "Oh, yo, they're showing the shirt," don't do it. Please don't do it. No.
But you see, we are going back to reverting to the color.
I love colors. I know a lot of people. I may have just seen Ramo there. I don't like colors in sports. I'm massive fan of like remember back in the old kits in the old days. Like the colors was just like I remember I think it was the year Ronaldo and Casemiro joined when under Ten Hag. That lovely Man United kit we had. It had like the white color and red color on top. It was nice, but I don't think obviously I didn't buy it because obviously Glazers and any else own our football club sadly. But nah, man, I love colors. I think they're just
you can always get them from somewhere else. That's just
100%,
so
Jarvis. We knew this, Jarvis. We knew this. We knew
you don't
this.
want to say it out loud, but there are other options out there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But for me,
yeah.
you know, I maybe this is the Ineos Ingleses way to present the new shirt and you know to get more money. You know, can you imagine how much money they will get in the superstore in the 2 home games when Man United are playing with the new shirt? And again, you know, it's all about the money for these guys. They are the epiphany of greed. To be honest, that's just how I see it. By the way, we need 9 more likes. So if you haven't liked the show, I know it's a different show. Nuruddin is not here. I just received a WhatsApp message from Nuruddin. He said I had an emergency, so he will explain later. We will know more about this. And he's so happy that Eski and Ben came and we did the
All
show.
okay with you,
Yeah, man.
Norden.
So,
All is okay,
Yeah, man.
bro. Big up, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
big
man.
up, Nuruddin. Big up. Hope everything is okay, King. I hope everything is
Sending love,
okay.
bro.
So please do us a favor, smash the like, as King Solbo, one of our moderators, tells you. And yeah, but I agree with
I
Ramo.
agree too.
The away kit, the blue one, looks nice.
Does look nice.
It's almost retro. Reminds
It
me
is.
of back in the days.
Love that kit back in
I
the day,
always
man.
loved the blue shirts, by the way. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Beautiful,
The
man.
dark blue one from 08. Sick.
Oh, stop it, Eski. I was the one I wanted, bro. It was
That
sensational, bro.
was so good. Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
man.
liked. I do.
Do anyone remember the Cantona signed and it was all blue and it had the big Man United crest on it and it was in black? Does anyone
Yes.
remember that one?
Oh,
That one's a very special one. It's very hard to see
such a-
those ones.
they're hard. I don't rarely see them. Like even like people like having them as well. Like you know, just along like in their storage and stuff. Like I don't see many people like around with them anymore. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah, not sure.
We have had some legendary shirts. Let
Yeah.
me bring you back to memory lane. So yeah,
Oh wow,
you have that the David Beckham that had a black collar. That was
beautiful. Such a
beautiful.
nice kit, man.
beautiful shirt. I think this is the one that's coming out this year. Kind of looked like the 85, 87 away shirt, the blue one,
Mm.
That
but
kit
not
wearing
sharp as the sponsor.
Fletcher, the bottom left. Oh,
Yeah, this one.
oh my god. Love
That's
that one.
what year is that? Year that's
That
the
is
one
Says it there,
year we won the
14-15.
Europa League.
215.
It says it there. 14-15. It says it there. It's the year before. I think.
Yeah. It was Nike.
Nice.
I never liked the Chevrolet logo. I think it was ugly on the Man United shirt. Didn't fit in.
It was too large. Do you see like how it's done? The AIG, it's there. It's small. Sharp is there. It's nice. That one is just too in your face. It's so American. It was annoying.
100% agree. But you know, this is the good old fashioned
days.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are so many. Yeah, this is the way 86, 87
Wow.
shirt.
That's a classic one. Yeah, I really like that one.
So yeah, there's so many beautiful shirts. How's your shirt collection, Ben?
Oh, it's like from 13, 14 right all the way back down to probably 97. That's all the shirts I have, man. But like from onwards after that, no. Ever since
No.
Sir Alex Ferguson left that football club and the fact that the Glazers were still here, it took a lot out of me, out of my soul for the club, man. And look where we've become. Look what we've become as well, man. It's horrible, man. It's horrible.
You're
can't
allowed
lie,
to
I
have
was-
a little rant on the Glazers and Ineos if you in the
Oh.
spirit of Northern, since he's not here.
100%. I mean, there's nothing where I could really rant anymore, Jarvis. I mean, we've done, like, the fans have done this to themselves because, you know, at the end of the day, if we're allowing Sir Jim Ratcliffe to get away with his racist comments, like, the question I have to Man United fans is, do Man United fans and do the actual identity of Man United, do they accept and support racism? Like, are they allowing this to happen? You know, that this is what things need to be asked. And like even Callum Best said it as well. If he said those comments back in the day, Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually would have left, because back in the day it was a lot more darker. It was a lot more like stricter in a way. Like racism as well was a lot more stricter back then in the day. But it's unbelievable how a man who can run a club like Man United, get away with this, man. And people can then say, well, there's two differences. Like, we're judging Ineos on the recruitment. No. Ineos is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe owns the organization. So when we're judging Ineos, we have to judge Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe's comments is unacceptable. It's far unacceptable, man. But yeah, I can't rant anymore. Just Jarvis, I've said it to Nerdin. It's just wasted energy at the end of the day. So it's hard.
Quick last topic, SK. I wanna hear your thoughts on the manager. There are some rumors that Carrick will get the job, and he will most likely end up with the job. But Noradin has always been a big fan of Andoni Iraola, and he's a very, very good manager. And I just want to bring this up to put things in perspective for you guys. And last season, Bournemouth, they lost Milos Kerkez, Dejan Huijsen, they lost Utara from and Sabarni, who went to PSG, Semenyo. They lost so many players, and despite this, they're sixth in the Premier League with 3 games remaining. And they have scored the 5th most league goals and only lost 7 league games all season. So with this in mind, and not to mention their stadium, it's a capacity of 11,307. So it's not even the championship level. It's worse than championship. And despite this, Andoni Iraola managed to keep them as one of the best teams in the Premier League. So,
yeah, I think.
Yeah.
No, sorry, go on. You're going to ask me.
No. That's where I'm going with this. So I just want to know: are you happy with Carrick, or would you go with another option? Not that you don't have to go with the Iraola, but someone else.
Or someone else. Yeah. Someone else. I mean, those stats there with the Iraola are great. I mean, if we wanted to really be shrewd and harsh and play devil's advocate, I mean, it accounts for, well, even ourselves, but I'd say a lot of teams this season in the Premier League just weren't as good as you thought. I think Tottenham, obviously, look at them, Chelsea, Newcastle, a lot of the teams you would expect to be up there. I think there's about 3 or 4 of them. Liverpool as well. I mean, they're fucking knocking in and about Bournemouth. So I do think that even though I agree with you, they are playing some really good football and everything, those stats are all true. I just think that sometimes where they are in the league is a bit, of inflation, especially this season. Not saying that takes anything away, but I'm just saying that is towards the positioning. Could even be said for us as well. In another season, Man United finished 3rd. I think we maybe could be in the top 4 if all the other teams are firing. Just the fact of the matter is, we're the 3rd best team in the league, factually. But I think it is down to a lot of the teams as well, fucking about. But that's by the by. But I think with Carrick, if he hadn't come in and done literally what he had done right now, I would say, Areola over someone else. But because of what I've seen, like week in, week out, I mean, we can talk about style of play, it's sustainable. I mean, I remember in the Liverpool game at one point, we went to, it wasn't quite a 4-4-2, it was a 4-2-4 at one point. It was basically the same, but you know what I mean? And I was just there thinking about your thing with the whole, 2-striker thing. And we evolved in that game thinking it was going to go down, and then we change how we approach the shape. So I do think it's sort of, if people can look at tactics a bit black and white, I mean, so much into it. There's a billion and one tactics, and it all changes over time, right? But I think, sometimes you see a manager start out and at the start of a game, if you don't see what you expect of this manager in the first 5 minutes, people will start saying he's got no tactics, or game in, game out, he doesn't know what he's doing, or it's just vibes football. I just think sometimes, there's horses for courses and it all changes. But I think the key thing is winning games. I think Michael Carrick's remit was at the start of it in January. They said to him, all right, Carrick, we want you to try and get as close to Champions League as possible. If you get it, great. The fact of the matter is you got Champions League with 3 games to go and beating Liverpool at home. He's beaten all of the top 6 teams. Against the lowest, lower teams, I was there like, not too sure. I remember a lot of people were very upset with the lead result, myself included. Again, I'm on CUNY, not that it means anything more, but obviously with everything with Leeds as well. I'm just saying that, we all feel it the same. But after that game, I remember coming on here and everyone was kicking off, and I did say, I said, look, we've not played a game for 28 days or whatever it was, 25 days. I said, if you do anything at the highest level and you don't do what you're naturally doing, training's differently. You can't simulate a high intense match in training. You just can't. So I'm like, you don't do that for a month, you're actually going to come back and you're not going to look as great. There wasn't really an excuse for it, but I said, if we play anything like that in the next game, and I think that next game was Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, I said, if we play anything like that in the next game, big questions. Post that game, I think we were on a 3-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. Play half decent football at times against Liverpool. Again, I've not really spoken the game, but quickly, I've not, Son Laments, what can you do there? That he's been an amazing signing. Not going to hold that against him. That can happen to anyone, right? Ahmad coming on. I mean, I'm not going to say that's unfortunate. You don't do a cross-field pass backwards. I mean, come on, standard basics of football. That pass there is not on. You do not make that pass under any circumstances. So for me, 2 mistakes there. So again, going forward, like I said, he's done what he needed to do. He's winning games. Dog is coming back, which I think for me was a big part of what he was doing, because he said to him on the 4-2-3-1 system, you're playing as my left winger, really, because Cunha's not a left winger, he's doing what he can. So I think for me, we'll be able to see an evolution of Michael Carrick and what he can do when the coaching staff get involved. And I want better coaches to come in and help a little bit with players, because I don't like how Cunha gets to the final third, but his final pass is off. Buebel's in the final third, and I don't particularly like his crossing. It's kind of like, 1 in every 6. Well, there you go. But even Dalot as well. But I think Mbeumo, he's as much as he's done good this season. Even early on, I noticed that he'll get in great positions, and on that left foot, can't seem to quite get his crossing in there. I know he's the finish guy, like he's to do that at the end of the move. But you're coming into Man United now, and there's a different. You're not in Bruno's role, so I think we need a little bit of coaches there. And if it's not Michael Carrick, then fair enough. But like I said, it's going to turn so bad next season if ex-manager comes in and we don't hit the ground running, we don't win like our first however many games in a row. Our fan base is like, it is still we're quite volatile. We've been spot with success for however long, and I just think it's a thing where we will get carried away sometimes. If we win our first 10 games of the season, people will be saying title charge. I won't be. I genuinely won't be. You can clip this up, even if we are winning 10 games in a row.
Anyway, so that we know these players, it gets into their heads, We have been in title. Remember, Ollie? We were in the title race, I would say late December, beginning of January, but then, the pressure starts cooking, the boiling, and no, I don't trust them. We are not that team yet.
Not yet. No, this is what I'm saying. So for me, my ultimate thing is we do give Michael Carrick like a 2-year deal. We improve the squad. This is more on Ineos. Improve the squad this year, and then whatever happens next year, improve on that, and then say to a big manager, Enrique, if Iriola is available. Because here's the thing, Michael Carrick's here now. Iriola, if we keep Michael Carrick, Iriola, it's not like, Iriola's never going to manage Manchester United. He would jump at the chance to manage Manchester United in 2-3 years' time. He's not that old of a coach. You know what I'm saying? He's learned his trade in England as well. So people can look at him and say, I actually did well in the Premier League. All those stats are valid that you brought up before. So for me, I think you keep him for a couple of years, whether you bring it, and it's just all about improving the team. My aim for next season, honestly, Jarvis and Ben, and everyone who's listening, is to challenge again for top 4. That's it. That's as realistic as I'm going to be. Challenge again for top 4. Do what you can in the clubs. I think in the Champions League, it's harder to go out now in the group stage than not. So, I mean, even fucking Tottenham got out, right? So, I mean, anyone could get out. So you go into the Champions League, whatever happens, right? Do what you can in the cups. Maybe toss off the League Cup. We don't really need it. FA Cup, show a little bit of pride. And then, like I said, just challenge for the top 4 again. Improve on the squad, improve players, get the youngsters in there. And then, look at that next season after that. And like even Callum Best said, in 2 years' time, I expect we could challenge for the league if everything goes correctly. But again, that is harder said than done. You rely on injuries, good fortune as well in football is massive. Recruitment, is our manager going to stay? Because we could easily start Michael Carrick halfway through next year. Let's say we lose 5 in a row and it's all going tits up. So we're very equal of having a very good season next year, and equally I sack Michael Carrick next year if things don't go as well. You know what I'm saying? We say, we'll get rid of this now. We don't want to become a Ten Hag or a Aram situation. So, like I said, either or, it's still a very volatile situation. But my gut instinct is keep Carrick for the short term and then build on the squad regardless.
It's funny because when it comes to these manager situation, I mean, I love first things first for Carrick. I think he's done a phenomenal job. Like, I won't take away anything from what he's done. He has done well. Obviously he's got us to Champions League. Although, like, one thing I don't understand as well, the people out there that were, massively critical of Ten Hag, massively critical of Amber, massively critical of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, they were all manager out and shit. All of a sudden now, in this next season, when Michael Carrick starts, it's all the players' fault. It's all the players' fault. Players, players, players. But see, back in the day when it comes to Ten Hag and Amber, when he was there, there was none of this like, oh, you can't. None of you can ever blame the players. It's all down to the manager. But when it comes to the other side, like, they've sort of flip flopped in a way. So, like, I just don't understand what's been going on with this fan base, man. The fact that people are saying, "Oh, if Carr doesn't do well next season, it's because of the players." No, 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 no. We have to have the same energy that yous have given to Ten Hag. Even though I was one of the last ones with Jarvis that didn't want Ten Hag to go because I thought there was bigger issues than Ten Hag, but. Look, I think for me, I'm looking out for the best interests of Man United. I think what Man United need to do, and this needs to be the biggest flag ever, and that's Man United need to move away from this double pivot. We just cannot be constantly playing a two-man midfield moving forward. Like I said, two-man midfields it never hardly ever wins you major trophies. You look back in the old days like Barcelona, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. None of them are number 10s. They're all flat free midfielders. You got Real Madrid, Cruz, Modric, Casemiro. None of them are number 10s. You've got Man City back in the old days, obviously with Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, he was sort of like a number 8, but he was very physical. He knew what to do off the ball. But I just think Man United need to move away from it. And for me, I think there's very few managers out there and coaches out there that can play in three-man midfield. Obviously, Nurden likes Areola. Areola does play with three-man midfield, but the thing is with Areola, he does take the risk and play number 10, and sometimes they do press up too high up in the pitch.
But he's gone away from Kluivert. He hasn't. He's played with Smith and
Smith. That's what I like about
Smith and
Tavernier.
Yeah,
Tavernier, but Tavernier, yeah. But for me, like,
and Alex Scott.
Alex Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, obviously, everyone, what I would be doing is obviously the issue we have right now, and look, he's done phenomenal this season in terms of his assists, is Bruno Fernandez and Mason Mount, because they're number 10s, and right now we're in sort of like a horrible situation right now because we have number 10s at our football club, and they're kind of, obviously Bruno Fernandez has done well with his assists this season, but he's not really realistically helping Man United sustain this control in the midfield. It's not really helping us, and midfield wins you major trophies. Obviously, it helps your defense too, gains confidence too. But I just think for me, I would go all in on Luis Enrique. Yes, people can say it's impossible, but look, when Pep Guardiola was at Byern or Barcelona before he came to Manchester City, like, who the fuck were Manchester City before that? Like, Manchester City just rang Pep instantly and said, "Look here, do you want to come to Manchester City?" And
but they gave him everything. They built a team before he came. They brought in his staff,
100%.
Trixie Bergestein, Berada. They brought in the third guy from Barcelona. So again, they built the team around him and said, "Okay, welcome." So,
exactly,
yeah.
And like I said, like, if
Hey!
there he is. If Barcelona, if Manchester City can do it, why can't we? And yes, obviously we know these vultures. We know who they are. We know what they can do. But it's not like a matter of what my football club is. It's more so I demand that, like, the fact that I want more pressure on them, like, because people are letting them off. The fact that people are saying Man United need to be focused on recruitment this season and allowing Carrick to get away if he has a bad season next year, like, that can't be. If people are actually allowing Ineos to get away if Carrick's recruitment is bad for next season, like, there needs to be the same energy with recruitment and with the manager. If Carrick doesn't work out, the pressure and the rants and all that stuff, it needs to be all on Ineos. We have to focus on the bigger picture on Ineos, and that's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
But for me, Enrique or Eddie Howe. I've always said Eddie Howe. There is something in Eddie Howe, but I think he is going to be I think he's going to be staying at Newcastle, sadly. But yeah, I just let's see what Man United can do, man. But big up to the main man who's just jumped
big
on
up,
this.
people. Yeah, big up,
Come
guys.
on, bro.
Honestly, first of all, I just want to thank every one of you, and I want to thank Jarvis for jumping on. Really appreciate you guys. I had to deal with I had to deal with the situation. So absolutely amazing, people. Big up to the community and love. And thank you, Esky, and thank you, Ben, for jumping on as well.
Big up, man. No love, bro.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, man.
Should have just done an hour, Jarvis.
No. You know, every time it gets going, it's always like the Jarvis's corner. You know, we have been going deep, talking about, you know, all sorts of subjects. You know, we use a lot of time talking about left wingers, left backs, and we have done breakdowns on other players, not Gomes as in the headline for the show, but we have covered some ground. And I just want to quickly, before Nordin comes in, say to Eski, when you talked about the in-game management, I liked the quote that I think it was Koke, the Atletico Madrid midfielder, talked about yesterday after the game. And he actually had the quote, and for me, I liked it really well, because he said, everyone can be a general after the war. So, you know, I think that was spot on, because people were talking about Simeone's tactics during the game, and could they have done more, and all of this. You know, football is special. You have to do the right things there and then. You can't do the right things after the game is done. So again, you know, it's always difficult for us. We as pundits, we sit there and criticize the manager time after time. But again, you know, that's easy. It's easy seeing what's wrong with it afterwards.
Yeah, it's the tools. For me, it's the tools.
Yeah.
I looked at Atletico Madrid. Other than the City striker, they don't have other forwards. They don't have other attacking players. Koke is playing because they don't have other midfielders. You know what I mean? They're not. A couple of years ago, when they were winning leagues, they could compete as much as they can financially. Their best players go to Barcelona here and there, so they've done remarkably well to get to the semi-final. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid, I think. If you look at their budget, if you look at their thing, they're not Real Madrid, they're not Barcelona, so they've done really well for me. And Simeone, he does what he does, but the finances are not there, and that's why you've got now potential. The Premier League team in the final, Paris Saint-Germain mountain of money. Then you've got Crystal Palace could go through maybe to the final of the conference. And in the Europa League final, one English team is going to be in the Europa League final. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, we will know tomorrow.
Yeah,
Forest or Villa.
tomorrow. So,
yeah.
That's what it is. We'll just have to go look through Joao Gomes maybe another time. Maybe I might do a show if I get time tomorrow. But yeah, big up. I just want to say big up to the community, man. I appreciate everybody. Champions League, I didn't even watch it. I've seen little bits of it here and there. But was it the better team that won? Or was it Bayern Munich were unlucky?
Nah, Bayern Munich was poor. Their front four was terrible. Ulisse he was so poor. Musiala was poor. Kane didn't have his best game. I would say Luis Diaz was the only one trying. So again, PSG they made it very difficult. You know, they work rate on those players, Vitinha, Joao Neves, all of them. You know, they work. They are not superstars. Even Kvaratskhelia, you know, in the 97th minute, he works down, helps the fullback, wins the ball. You know, that's the type of mentality Luis Enrique has installed in this team. So deservedly, they went through, and hopefully they are going to win it.
Yeah. I think Arsenal will have to play the best game they've played in a long, long time to beat them. I think it's just that attack and the relentlessness which they play with. You know what I mean? I can just see. I can see them scoring. I can see Arsenal scoring, but I can see them scoring more. Yeah. Is he out of the World Cup now, Hakimi? Is he out for the season? Out of the World Cup? What were they saying?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he's working hard. I haven't read any reports.
Yeah.
No, but there were some controversies with the referee. There were some handballs. Maybe the Bayern should have had a penalty, and maybe
big up, Ben.
it should have been a red card.
Thank you, Ben.
Big up.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
no, big up to
love,
you, bro, and hope everything's all okay, Nerdin.
Yeah. Love.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, I think we covered most of it, Nordin. So if you wanna, you wanna do the wrap up, do your thing. Shout out for Palestine and Lebanon and
big up Eski. Eski, you happy with the Liverpool win? We Kobbie Mainoo, so happy about that. I was so
man.
happy.
Listen, we know about Kobbie. This is the thing this is the straw that brought the camel's back with me and Amrim. When this guy went into Kobbie Mainoo and he's linked to Napoli, crimes against some things are bigger than Man. Listen, this guy could not leave for any amount of money in the world because the fact of the matter is, if he played for AC Milan, if he played for Chelsea, Man City, any other team now, how much would he be worth? Man United would be linked with this guy and be worth over £100 million. So for me, what he did there, vindication. He's a young boy, he works hard, don't chat shit in the media, comes from a decent family, and like you said, man, gets his reward. Loves going against Liverpool. Sick result. I touched on it before with Jarvis. Like I said, yeah, Liverpool result, big win. Carrick's done what he's done, and like I said, we just move forward, man. Just do what we need to do. But yeah, I'm so happy for him, man. So happy. We needed that win as well, no, in 10 years since we've done the double over them, like, man. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you bump into Scousers and that here and dotted about. Do you know what I mean? You can't see nothing because, you know what I mean, they've been doing well so recently. So now we can put it on them a little bit and say, listen, champions of England, you spent £500 million, we've done the double over you, and we finished above you. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little vindication for us there. So we'll take that, man. Any day we'll take that. So yeah, I'm buzzing. Just like you, man. I bet you're buzzing.
Yeah, some of my cousins and all my uncles left the WhatsApp groups.
There you go. This is what I'm saying. It's that deep. It is that deep. I start texting people I've not texted for like 2 years, and it's saying, "Oh, do you like me now?" They're like, "Bro, how'd you get my number?" I'm like, "Never left." Do you know what I mean? You have to just put it on people certain times and just be like, "I remember all that shit you were saying. Now what? Now what?" Yeah, heads down.
In action. I always front up and face up, but they were missing in action, man. Honestly.
They won't take it because they know the champions of England. It's embarrassing. You're champions of England. Man United have done the double over you. Like, when's that happened?
Yeah.
Listen, big up to Jarvis. Make sure you check out Jarvis, please. Make sure you check him out on Tactical Devils. This channel deserves a lot more. Big up to Jarvis. Jarvis, you live tomorrow doing a show?
What day? It's Thursday tomorrow. Yeah. Most likely Sue and I will do a show. When do we play the game? So maybe will it be? Do we play Saturday or Sunday?
We play from everything I saw Saturday, 3 o'clock Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we will do a preview show tomorrow. Yeah.
Let me just double check 1 second. Let me just double check for you because I'm always like.
I think it is Saturday. I do think it is Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
I think you're
Saturday,
right.
Yeah, King Solbo says it's Saturday. So yeah, we will be live tomorrow then.
3 o'clock.
But you have the Europa League game, so probably we'll go live 9:30ish. Yeah.
No, I didn't. Listen, no, I didn't manage to do a watch along with Saeed. Like I said, something came up and I couldn't do the watch along. So big up to Saeed as well. But yeah, make sure you check out Jarvis, man. Tactical Devils. Make sure they're live at 10 o'clock tomorrow. If I'm around, I'm gonna jump on there. Love, big up to Eski. Big up to Ben. Make sure you check Ben out. He's at Elmore39 and Elmore20 on Twitch and Elmore20 on TikTok. He's a gamer. If you're into games, make sure you follow Ben. Big up Eski. You only see Eski here. Eski, you should I should pass your details on to Jarvis. You can get on Jarvis's channel sometime if you want.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Tactical Devils, man. Tactical Devils. But yeah, you'll see me on Tactical Devils. Yeah, big up, people. I'm so happy. You know what? The community's jumped in, and I'm grateful to Jarvis and Eski and Ben for jumping on, carrying a conversation. Love and light, people. Free the world. Free the world from the war machine, the tech billionaires, the tech fascists. You know what I mean? Free the world from these monsters, man, who just want war and want to make money by killing people. So yeah, free Lebanon, free Palestine, Congo, Sudan. Solidarity and love to all the indigenous people everywhere in this world, man. And solidarity and love to you people. There's more of them than us. Remember that. People united can never be divided, people. Happy about the weekend. I thought still the performances are not there, but it is what it is. We'll just get through the season. And if he gets the job, I believe they're setting him up to fail. And I agree with Esky. I'm not. People think we can challenge for a league. I think that we need 6 or 7 signings just to make sure we're back in the top 4 next season.
Yeah.
Not to challenge for no league. But the Giddy Army can get giddy and dream. Why not? If we're wrong, we'll be here, facing it up, saying we were wrong. Love and light, people. Look after each other. Jarvis and hopefully I'll jump at Jarvis and Stu live 10 o'clock tomorrow. Tactical Devils. 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Tactical Devils after the Europa League games. Yeah. Big up, love. Take care, people.
Yeah, man. Peace out, guys.